And now it's time for another Power Play Post Show interview exclusive.
And welcome back, everybody, to the Power Play Post Show. Got a great guest for us, and I'm very much intrigued to talk to him. He comes to us from the Bridgeport Sound Tigers. You know, another guy to join us here for our Enforcer Special. He's left wing for the Sound Tigers. He's Brett Gallant. Brett, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Brett, let's talk a little bit about when you started growing up in Summerside and playing hockey as a young child. And I was just talking to you a little bit off the air about your son, and he's starting to skate and everything like that. When did you start skating, and when did you start getting into hockey? I mean, I know it's big above the border up in Canada and everything, but when did it start for you?
I'd say I started on the ice, just skating with a chair when I was about 3, but whenever I was about 5, you start into with other kids, and I've been playing it ever since. There's a big hockey school at home called Allen Andrews, and it helped me through the years. I went to it every year. I grew up at home, and they have a real good hockey program there. So I'd say I started around I was 5 years old. And
I know there are hundreds, thousands, and maybe a million kids that when they grow up in Canada, they all play hockey. They all dream about playing hockey. Was there a time when you were younger where there was a coach or somebody that said, you know what, this kid's got some skill. We need to really develop him and encourage him?
Actually, it wasn't until I got to about junior. I played midget hockey, and then I went to and played junior A hockey with my hometown team. I was 16 years old at the time, and I was being recruited by some major junior teams. I ended up going to the St. John Sea Dogs and got a coach, Jock Ballieu, and he worked with me I was head him for 2 years, and he was really good with me and told me that I could make something out of myself if I just worked hard at it. So it wasn't until I was in junior hockey.
Was there somebody that you either played with, or was it a coach like him that kind of like was your major influence?
No, my major influences were definitely my parents. They took me everywhere growing up, all the rinks. They took me all the hockey camps in PEI at Allen Andrews every summer. They still follow me to this day, watch all my games online, come up whenever they can. I have two brothers that both play still, so they're busy with that. So I definitely think my mother and father are my biggest influence.
I don't think it's an understatement. I mean, when I was younger, when I played, somebody had to drive me to the rink. Somebody had to get me to the team, and then from the team, we went on the road, to games and whatnot, especially the travel teams I played on. We can't really understate how important family is when it comes to playing hockey, can we?
Absolutely. I mean, without family, I don't know if it would ever work. Like I said, I had two brothers, both playing minor hockey at the exact same time, different teams. They were going to the rink every night and figuring out how to get all three of us to a different rink most nights. So you definitely need a good family.
How important was it for you and your family that you played, for Summerside, the Western Capitals, and had that season that was probably pretty magical for you guys in 08-09?
Yeah, that's a long story. I mean, I was with the St. John Sea Dogs for 3 years, and I got traded to the Lewiston Maniacs in the QMJHL. After I got let go of St. John, my heart was in Summerside to play with my hometown team. A lot of my best friends were going back to the team. I found out my wife was pregnant and we were going to have our first child. So I went home. I got to play with all my friends. I got to play on my hometown team that you grow up watching, always want to play on it. So it was a big year. It was the most fun I've ever had in my life.
What's the kind of the playing style difference between the MJ and the QM?
I think if you really want to look at it, you can almost look at it like the East Coast and then the AHL. I mean, I found it's a little bit slower, the MJHL, than the Q. The guys are stronger in the QMJHL. They're smarter. Everything happens a little bit quicker. Like I find it similar as the ECHL and the AHL. Everything's a little quicker, stronger. Things happen a little faster.
Yeah, you got to play, obviously, for the Elmira Jackals, just right down the road from where we are here in Binghamton and everything. And then, of course, a little time in Reading. And now, you're kind of really starting to find yourself a little bit more cemented with the Bridgeport Sound Tigers. And, talk a little bit about how the Sound Tigers and that organization has now kind of welcomed you and kind of like into the family almost.
Yeah, I was in Reading, and 2.5 years ago I got a call to get called up to Sound Tigers, and I've been here ever since. I mean, they have some real good people here, starting with Garth Snow, and I've had great coaches through the year that they've worked with me and been trying to make me a better player every day. I had Pat Bingham, first-year coach, and he was great. Then I had Brent Thompson last year, and a real passionate coach, stayed on me all the time. Now this year I have Scott Pellerin, and he's really using me good. He's works with me every day. We got good skills guys down here. I had Matt Bertani for 2 years, and he helped me a lot. He does skating schools in the summer in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yep.
So I think it's just them. They've been working with me and trying to make me something.
You know, I've talked to a lot of people who played for Pat Bingham, whether when he was an assistant or a head coach, and I always said, he was always nice to me. For some reason, he just kind of enjoyed our conversations together and everything. But he's like this. I don't want to say bitter old man, but he's like one of those coaches that really can kind of just be like looking at you like going, you're not doing it right, do it over again, that type of thing. But at the same time, a lot of the people who played for him kind of really appreciated his style and his consistency, and he still showed how much he cared about his players.
Absolutely. I mean, I came up here and only played 20 games at the end of the year. He was the coach. We didn't have a very good team. We lost a lot of games. He was always positive, and every day he came to the rink, try to make everybody better, and everybody liked playing for him because of that reason.
Obviously this season, it really started off pretty well for the Sound Tigers and everything, kind of fallen off a little bit lately. What have you seen in the last, 6 or 7 games that you guys haven't, been picking up the wins? What have you seen in the team that, maybe needs to change or has caused you guys not to get so many wins?
We're coaches. We're working every day, practicing, D-zone. I mean, things aren't going our way right now, and it happens in hockey. I know every team goes through it, and I hope when we come out of this, it's going to make us a better team. I think it's just we're not getting the bounces. Things aren't going our way, but that every good team goes through that, and we're going to come out of it.
You play the tough game. You're definitely one of the guys that sticks up for the other teammates and everything. I've talked to a lot of guys who are in the same type of role as you, and they some of them said, my teammates take care of me. It's kind of a lot of fun and everything. But you guys definitely have the hardest role on the team because you go out there and you got to play smart defensively. You got to be a good two-way player, but then at the same time, you do one of the toughest things that there is in all sports.
Yeah, I mean it's not easy. I mean there's some real tough guys in the league. It's a team game, and I really think our team's a family, and you look after your brothers. I know my role in the team. I know I got to stick up for some guys, and the team appreciates that. So it's a good feeling.
For you this season, what is your goal this season?
For me individually, the goal is just to get better as a player. I mean, every player, wherever you are, you want to make the NHL. So for me, I know I got to work on my skating, become a better player to get there, and biggest thing is to win the Calder Cup. I mean, we said that as a team at the start of the year, and that's what we're trying to accomplish.
How important is it for this team, if the NHL, if they can't resolve this thing, and they just seem to go back and forth, up and down, and, who knows why, but if they can't get this thing resolved, how important is it for this team and the players that are down and the players that are on Bridgeport that maybe wouldn't go up, how important is it for this team to be very successful?
Yeah, there's obviously some guys here that would be up, and I mean they're not coming down here with big egos or anything. They're coming down here, and our team works hard. The guys that are down here, they came in here with great attitudes, and they want to win down here. They work hard every day. You get to watch what they do. take after their habits. They want to win, so that's what we all want here. That we're here before the lockout.
What have you learned from those guys that have come down? Is there some things that you've kind of picked up that you've seen them do that has helped you become a better player?
Yeah, you look at guys like Niederreiter and like Hamonic and even Zizekas that was up and down. You look at Casey Zizekas. He never takes a shift off. He never takes a day off. You got to bring your A game every day to the rink. You can't take any time off.
No, absolutely. I watched Brandon when he was obviously in Wilkes-Barre last year and whatnot, and he's kind of like, he's got that crazy hair. He's just kind of like got that really cool personality. But how crazy is Brandon DeFazio?
Fazio had a good fight last night in Hartford. He's a role player too. I mean, he can do a little bit of everything. He can score. He plays in the penalty kill. Gets some power play time. He's overall a great player. I mean, he'll stick up for a teammate. Last night he came off the bench after I never seen the hit, so I can't comment on the hit. But just he came out to stick up for a teammate and done a great job.
He, talking to him, off air and stuff like that. He's one of those guys you just want to hang out with. He's just kind of like a fun guy.
Absolutely, he's my roommate on the road every time we go on the road, and we do a lot together. He's a real good friend of mine.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that, Brett. So I know you'll take a point, you'll take a goal any time that you get a chance. But is there one team in that division, or even in the Northeast, that you really want to score against?
For us in Bridgeport, Connecticut or Hartford, whatever you want to call them, is our biggest rivalry. And I want to score at any point in time, but if I can score a big goal against them, it'd be great.
Excellent. All right, Brett, thank you very much for coming on. We definitely appreciate it and being a part of our little special and getting to know you a little bit more. And, good luck the rest of the season. And I hope you stick around in the American Hockey League and hockey for a very long time.
Thanks a lot for having me.
All right, we'll be right back right after this, right here on the Power Play Post Show.
That's it for this week's edition of the Power Play Post Show. Join us next week as we talk more about the AHL. Let us know what you think. Email us at radio@pppshow.net. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week on the Power Play Post Show.